there was a report from Jake Weinbach that had reported that not only the Pistons, I have the tweet pulled up right here, um, that the Heat, Pistons, Sixers, and Spurs are among teams that could check in on Lauri Markkanen's availability this summer. It's
Uh-huh.
unclear if the Jazz are willing to entertain offers on the All-Star forward, but there should be a firm interest in markets and services once again. Now, this is the main reason why we're talking about it. So I posted this on my Instagram. If you guys follow me, you already know I posted this. But Malik Beasley decided to comment on it and says, quote, "We have ties. I can make it happen." So I don't really know what to make of this, Sean. I don't know if Bees is just having fun on social media. It's off season, just getting fans to talk about something. I know there've been so many teams that probably want a Lauri Markkanen stretch four. Seemed like he really put it together under JB in Cleveland, if I'm being honest. So there's kind of that connection there. I think
Yep.
the only thing where I kind of have some pushback on it is that big contract he signed. But how do you feel about a Lauri Markkanen, and do you think it would be a solid move for the Pistons to try to acquire him via trade?
Yeah, man. I mean, Lauri Markkanen, the player, is awesome. I mean, like if you're solely evaluating the basketball fit, Lauri Markkanen is one of those guys that makes a ton of sense to slot in alongside, like a Cade Cunningham and the rest of this lineup. And like he's someone you can play at the 3, he's someone you can play at the 4, he's someone that for stretches I think you can play at the 5 as well. You can really do a lot of different things with Lauri Markkanen. And like listen, if the opportunity were to present itself in a way where it wouldn't cost you an arm and a leg, I absolutely think Detroit would have those discussions. Now, Malik saying this is great. There's a couple things I think we need to point out for a little bit of a check of reality. For one, Malik still needs to 100% be a Piston next year. That's probably the biggest thing of this whole equation. And in assuming he is a Piston next season, it's great that he has ties and can make it happen, but it's really about Trajan Langdon being able to make it happen because Lauri Markkanen's not a free agent. Not at all. You'd have to go out and get him on the open market. And if you're the Utah Jazz, who just fell to the 5th overall pick in the lottery after having the worst record and the best odds to go get Cooper Flagg, and you just had another disastrous season with no positive outcome out of it, I think they're going to start looking to be as competitive as possible as soon as possible. And Lauri Markkanen has made it clear that he wants to be there and he wants to be a part of winning there. I like the game logs. I don't even think I could take seriously. Like if we're like, oh, well, looking at durability, because like ever since like Lauri's been in Utah, he hasn't been shut down because of health. He's been shut down because they've been winning when he's on the court and they need to go out and tank. And so he's just getting shut down prematurely each season. I think if you're Utah, like I think this is the year where they have to start like really trying to be competitive. Like if they want to take one more swing at the lottery, makes a lot of sense to move on from Lauri now. But I'm telling you, man, they have been pitiful for a long time now. And it's a really hard thing to put a fan base through. If I'm Utah, like it's even though it's going to be really hard to do so in that conference, I think if there's anything that you've learned over the last couple of years at the lottery, you almost have as good of a chance trying to be competitive to go get the number 1 pick as you do losing as much as they have. So I think personally the odds on this one are going to be really low, because then that just throws into what the Pistons have to give up in a trade. And I think I think from what Utah has said in the past, I think they covet a little too much for Lauri Markkanen. And I don't know how much of a roster you'd have to field around Cade and Markkanen after that deal would be done for Utah to say yes. Because the other thing I will say as something that needs to be considered is the fact that, do you really want to enter into trade negotiations with Danny Ainge? And do you really think you're going to get the best out of a deal with Danny Ainge, because we thought we did with Simone. Might not have. I don't know. I don't know if they got anyone that was a stud in return, but I don't know if we could definitely say the Pistons won that trade.
Yeah, it's kind of a mystery how he played well under Monty, but struggled under JB. Maybe it was his
Well,
broken foot. I don't
I mean,
know.
to me, it's not much of a mystery. Like, he had surgery in the offseason. He wasn't really able to play a whole ton. Like, he was really just like recovering for the most of the offseason. I think he also had a child. I don't want to say that definitively, but I'm pretty sure he had some pretty major stuff with his family. So part of me wonders if he is on the team next year, if he gets his legs under him, if he feels a little bit better, if he can kind of look more like the Simone that we saw the year before, because I just refuse to believe that Simone is just suddenly a bad basketball player,
Yeah,
because the problem isn't up here. It's not. It's his legs. It's getting that under him. It's being able to shoot at a consistent level. To me, that was the problem with Simone this year. But I'm just interested to see what happens with him for sure.
yeah, same here. It kind of circling back to Lauri. Lauri to me on paper sounds great, but then once you look at his contract, and then you look how much money he's owed over the next few seasons, and then you look at Cade's rookie supermax that goes into effect, and then you kind of look at the Pistons books, and you're like, man, do I really want to give up like a young guy and multiple picks
And he's
for
already
Lauri?
28.
Yeah, it's like, do you think a Cade, Lauri, let's just say Cade, Lauri, Asar can, get you to the NBA finals?
Probably not. It'd be really interesting, but like, I mean, that's kind of the other thing too, is like, yeah, we saw Lauri have an awesome season, like all-star season a couple years ago, but like, are we sure he's that guy fully? Are we are we like 100% positive that he is like a consensus all-star caliber player year in and year out? Like, I don't know. Like, if he's alongside a Cade, that's someone who can elevate his game, and perhaps you could argue, he really had to do a lot of things himself in Utah. If you were to put him alongside a Cade, that'd free him up to do a lot of things. But to me, that again, it's just one of those things where with his age and with what he's going to get paid and what you would have to trade to get him, because you're giving up at least Ivy or Duran, and then they're probably going to want Ron. They're probably going to want Ron too, and probably Bobby. And of those 4 picks that the Pistons would have to trade, they'd probably want at least 2 of them. They would probably ask for 3. And at that point, you're like, for Lauri Markkanen, I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I know me and you have had conversations about like who could possibly be like a second or third option. I think Lauri always kind of gets mentioned like really briefly, but I think once people look at the contract, they're like, I'm out.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them there, but like eventually they're gonna make a big move. I think Bees is just kind of trolling us. Just got back from vacation, just having fun, saying I
Oh,
can
for
make the
sure.
call. I knowing him, he's probably just like, hey, watch this.
Oh, for sure. He is 100% the guy that likes to stir up chaos and just have some fun. And I think he's probably, just like, oh, that's my guy. You know what I mean? Just probably saw that and wanted to have some good fun with